Trump said you can no longer buy sodas and Little Debbie's with your EBT card. Can y'all believe that? First of all, I'm hurt because I've been trying to get on food stamps for the longest and they won't accept you, girl. I guess I'm too on. But listen, now he says with your EBT card, all you can buy is straight food, just food. You can't get the sodas and the Kool-Aid pouches and the Little Debbies and the Zoom Zooms and the Wham Whams. You have to get strictly food. It's going to be a strict list that they basically say this is food. And that's all you can get with your food stamp card. How do y'all feel about that? I'm hurt. I can't even get the food stamp card, but if I could get the food stamp card, I couldn't get what I want to eat. I gotta eat the Tiffany plate. That's it. That's all. So I don't know, man. I'm not feeling that, but it's not like it matters because I can't get it anyway.
Trump pushed to cut back on food stamps, technically known as SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. The idea, according to his team, was to reduce government spending and encourage people to work. But the way they went about it stirred up a lot of controversy. One of the biggest moves was trying to enforce stricter work requirements for adults without children. Basically, if you were an able-bodied adult, you had to work at least 20 hours a week to keep getting food stamps. Before this, states could waive that rule if local unemployment was high. But the Trump administration made it harder to get those waivers. That change alone could have pushed nearly 700,000 people off the program. Critics saw this as harsh, especially because many of the people affected were already struggling, not just with finding jobs, but also with things like health issues or unstable housing. The timing didn't help either. They pushed for this during economic uncertainty, and eventually a judge blocked the rule, saying it would have hurt too many people. On top of that, Trump's proposed budget aimed to slash SNAP funding by nearly 30% over 10 years. That's a huge cut. And he wanted states to start picking up more of the cost, which sounds reasonable until you realize not all states can afford to do that without cutting benefits or tightening eligibility even further. Supporters of the cuts argued that the system needed reform and that benefits were being given out too freely, encouraging dependency. But opponents said it was punishing poor people for being poor, and that it would increase hunger in the U.S. So, it really became one of those classic political battles, cost-cutting versus compassion. Some saw it as necessary reform, others saw it as cold and harmful. Either way, it put a spotlight on just how many Americans rely on SNAP to survive, and how even small policy tweaks can ripple out and impact millions of lives.
I'm only gonna speak on this because I'm a mom who receives food stamps, but it's so sad that y'all want to see people without so bad. They're doing that little cut to the food stamps and the Medicaid where it hasn't passed the Senate yet, but we know the whole Senate is Republican, so we already know. Let's just hope and pray that somebody in their right mind come to that senses. You feel me? But it's the fact that y'all happy about this. Oh, now y'all can get y'all lazy up and stop living off our money for free. Y'all think people who receive government assistance don't work? Y'all think we don't work? Baby, housing done went up. The cost of living done went up. The food cost done went up. Daycare done went up. We out here damn near about to lose our lives trying to hustle and get money to go pay the bills. That's why we need the government assistance. The car payments done went up. Car insurance done went up. And it's gonna go up some more because tariffs. So, what do y'all get? Oh, people who own government assistance are poor, they're lazy, or they don't work. Where did y'all get that from? I think that's a stereotype y'all started because people in the hood or the projects or the trailer parks, yeah, y'all put that on everybody. No, that ain't how that work. Because I'm at work. I'm in school. I'm doing the best I can. I need my food stamps. But if they take it away, I'm going to do what I got to do to make ends meet. It ain't going to stop nothing.
Okay, well, if it's not going to stop anything, then why are you concerned about it? Why is this a big deal if it's not going to stop nothing, if it's not going to stop the movement, if you're still going to do what you're going to do? And that means that you are already an able-bodied adult and that taxpayers shouldn't have to foot the bill in the first place. I think that these women are confused a lot of times, right? And the reason that they're confused is because they believe that they are entitled to it. And so a lot of times they speak as though they deserve it, as though the people that are really holding our legislators accountable for what it is that they're allocating budget for are not using our taxpayer dollars. That's the key. When you receive government assistance, it don't just come out of thin air. It actually comes from us, the taxpayers. So when we get more concerned and we say, well, listen, we need to start trimming the budget, Department of Government Efficiency, we want to spend more time and more energy on making sure that people have opportunity to find the jobs that they want, that we need to increase investment inside of the United States of America, and we want to reduce the amount of people that are taking advantage of what's happening with social services. And let's be clear, there are people that need it as a bridge, but most of the people that I've ever seen in my lifetime sell their food stamps, they finesse, they lie, they act like they don't know where their baby daddy at, and their baby daddy be living with them. And it's so much finessing that we do need to make sure that we get this whole program in order. You know, to act like people are excited to see you fail. No, people want you to be accountable and responsible for the fact that you opened up your legs to have children with people, and then you then couldn't afford them. And then there's a lot of people that are out here. I mean, God, it's a lot of people out here that are gloating. They are telling on themselves. They saying that they are lying to the federal government so that they can continue to get food stamps, and they still opening up their legs and they having kids.
Many Americans are expressing deep frustration and anger over the Trump administration's recent cuts to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, commonly known as food stamps. These changes are perceived by many as harmful to vulnerable populations, including children, seniors, and low-income families. Across the nation, individuals and communities are voicing their concerns about the impact of these cuts. For instance, in Virginia, SNAP recipients have reported significant reductions in their benefits, with some seeing their monthly allotments cut nearly in half. Tamika Spears, a resident of Richmond, shared that her benefits dropped from $518 to $262, stating, "It's the difference between skipping meals or not." In Los Angeles, where approximately 25% of households face food insecurity, the proposed cuts are expected to exacerbate the situation. Chris Carter, Senior Policy and Research Manager at the Los Angeles Regional Food Bank, expressed concern that the organization would need to rely more heavily on philanthropic and community support to meet the increased demand for services. The policy changes have also faced significant political and legal challenges. 14 states, along with New York City and Washington, D.C., have filed lawsuits to block the new rules, arguing that they ignore local labor market conditions and would lead to higher state costs due to increased hunger and healthcare expenditures. Additionally, a coalition of 70 mayors from cities across the United States has sent a letter to the Trump administration, warning that the cuts would harm local economies and increase food insecurity among children, seniors, and other vulnerable populations.
Trump said food stamps should be only for food. No sugar water, no soda water, no snacks, no Debbie cakes, no none of that. So if you out here going to the store thinking you finna go spend all your money on some party material, you're not. He done snatched it all away. I agree. Food stamps should be for food. Food, things you can get full. Fill your belly up. Make sure you get a good meal for the night. Not snacks. Not for, girl, you bringing the juices? That's over with. Girl, are you gonna bring the snacks? That's over with. Not for slumber parties for your kids. Food. Food. There's too many people out here who don't have food, and y'all using it for extra money to buy snacks and juices and sodas and Debbie cakes, and we don't want to hear all that. We want you to go out, spend your food stamps on what you can get, because it's already hard enough that motherfuckers can't get food stamps, and you get them, and then you spend all your money on snacks. No.
Okay, so I was looking at a YouTube video a while ago, and they said that the Trump administration is going to crack down on what people can buy with food stamps, and also they're going to crack down on the budget. I'm going to say this. This is my opinion, and I ain't finna cut nobody's feelings and nothing in this. If you are disabled, meaning that you are unable to work, you're on SSI or whatever, you are in poverty level, you deserve to get food stamps or some kind of supplement to your income so that you can help buy food, because food is high. Number two, if you're one of these girls out here that's having babies every year or every 2 years and say that you are building a family and you are still classified as at the poverty level, meaning that you are getting federal assistance for your housing, meaning hoods, you're getting child support, you're getting child care vouchers and all of that shit so your kids can actually go to school, you're getting $1,000 to $1,500 a month in federal food stamps so that you can feed your kids, and you lay around on your ass and on your back every day and suck and fuck and keep mess up and stroll on the internet on your free Wi-Fi. I want you to know that I don't give a damn. And they say, oh, well, what about the children? These people didn't even care about their own children. For one, you're already poor. You're already in poverty. Why do you keep on having kids? They have free child family planning. They have free birth control, free condoms at the health department, and y'all still keep having babies so y'all can lock down a man or so y'all can stay on federal assistance. I don't give a motherfucker if they cut you down to $50 a month. Your ass should work 4 jobs to feed them kids. That'll stop your ass from having all them children knowing you can't fucking feed them. And they say, well, if they give us food stamps, they should not be able to tell us what to buy with that, and my children ain't gonna eat that. Your children have been programmed to eat junk because you don't cook. Your children have been programmed to go in there and eat Hot Pockets for breakfast and Cheerios and sweet cereal and all that bullshit that's later on going to give them heart disease and diabetes. And then you want to know why they act like they ain't in their right mind jumping all over, because it's the proper foods that you're not giving your kids. If you're going to get federal assistance, meaning that you're going to get money from the government, meaning the taxpayers' money, they should have a choice in what you are feeding your family. And if you don't want to do that, then you should get off your lazy ass and get you a job. That's my opinion. Don't shoot the messenger.
What's good, family? So I see a lot of people upset because food stamps and Medicaid may potentially get cut. Here's my take on it. So what? A lot of y'all been on food stamps for going on 10, 15 years. Y'all have made no changes at all to y'all income situation, because you know damn well in order for you to receive government assistance, you need to be below the poverty line. So here's the thing. It would be different if you got government assistance for a short period of time, and while you were getting this government assistance, you took the initiative to either get in a class, maybe elevate within your resume so that way you could get a better job. And then once you got to the point to where you make enough money to be able to disconnect from the system, you then had more children. Or you then decided that, you know what, I don't need the system in my pocket. I don't need to be a part of it anymore. I've gotten food stamps before, but it was when I didn't have a fucking job. Does that mean that I wanted to stay on getting food stamps? No. I continued to look for a job so that way I didn't have to stay on it. A lot of y'all been abusing the system. Y'all been getting these food stamps for years and years and years, selling plates and using it while you're selling your food stamps to other people for cash. And you know damn well that you could get your ass up and go get a job. Now that it ain't a lot of jobs available, now they're getting ready to cut it. So guess what? They're going to make space for people who really actually need it. Y'all mad at Trump for doing the shit, but you're not mad at the fact that the Democrats allowed all of these people from all these other countries to utilize these things that we need on a temporary basis when we are low on income. It says temporary assistance, not lifelong assistance, not decade-long assistance, temporary assistance. How much longer did y'all think that y'all was gonna continue to make temporary assistance lifelong assistance? Did y'all not read that before y'all signed up for it? No. And then maybe we could we won't have to keep seeing 80-year-old and 90-year-olds working at Dollar Tree because they can't afford to pay their bills with the damn Social Security that they're getting or the Medicaid that they're getting. A lot of y'all able-bodied bitches been using up that shit for too long, and you don't deserve to. So if they gonna cut it, let them cut that shit. And it's been taxing on the system. We got billions of dollars in debt right now. So if you're gonna be mad at somebody, be mad at yourself for not leveling up. Not the damn government. Sorry, but not sorry.
Will never convince me that a single mom who needs food stamps, which isn't very much, most of the time they still need help to make it through the month, is the reason that our country is poor. When there's 4 men that have most of the money in our country. But let's cut food stamps, because that makes sense. So if you're a single mom, tell me, do you get food stamps? And if you do, how much do you get a month? Does it last you the month? How many kids do you have? Tell me, how did you become a single mom? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the fact that men marry women, sell them this future, and then somehow it's the moms that have to figure out how to raise these kids, and asking for food stamps, food security for their children is too much. Because I will never understand. I will never understand how feeding a child, feeding a person, is somehow too much of a problem for our country. Make it make sense.
In conclusion, the Trump administration's cuts to food stamps have triggered a wave of outrage across the country. For millions of Americans, from single parents to struggling seniors, this isn't just a political issue, it's a matter of survival. Many see it as a direct attack on the most vulnerable, especially at a time when economic uncertainty and food insecurity are already on the rise. From courtrooms to community food banks, the backlash has been loud and passionate, and it shows no signs of slowing down. What do you think? Are these cuts necessary reforms, or are they leaving too many people behind? Let's talk about it in the comments. I want to hear your perspective. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like and share it to help others stay informed. Subscribe to Orbit Point for more honest breakdowns of the stories that matter. And make sure to hit the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the biggest political headlines. Thanks for watching, and remember, stay informed, stay critical.